What's going on, guys? This is a special Mandalorian open spoiler discussion, and we've been doing this every week. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm going to bring in my guest here, my man Jake. What's going on, Jake? How you doing, man?
Hey.
Dude.
Good. How is everybody out there? Mike, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm doing really well, man. I'm excited to talk this episode in particular, man. I'm really stoked for it. So I know you were saying, do you want to do this? Does she want to come on? Did she?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my daughter. It's her 7th birthday today, Lily. Come on. All right, she doesn't want to be on, no problem. But yeah, so it's her 7th birthday, and her favorite present she got today was a baby Yoda.
Oh, really? Dude, that's awesome.
She got the child.
That's amazing, dude. Oh, what a great birthday gift, dude. I'm jealous, man. That's an awesome, perfect gift for a 7-year-old too. So, all right. Mandalorian, season 2, episode 4, also known as chapter 12. Initial thoughts. Oh, there she is. She's peeking over there.
There she is. All right, that's good. Thank you.
All right. So let's go with your initial thoughts. Just initial thoughts. Sum it up in like a sentence. Go.
Perfect Star Wars episode.
Dude, you literally took it from me. This is the most Star Wars I think Mandalorian has ever been. I mean, it felt to me like original trilogy. I mean, not quite, but like as close as you can get. I just
that energy.
Yeah, dude, just
perfect
amazing.
Star Wars energy.
Yes, yeah, I fully agree, man. It was awesome. The energy and just a lot of like the jokes and like all the, dude, there was so much to get into here. So if it's cool with you, man, because I know every week I kind of do this. Do you want to go through the synopsis of the show just from start to finish? Do you want to run through it?
I only watched it once, but no, you do it, and I'll dive in when we're as we normally do.
All right, Fair enough. All right, so let me know if I missed anything. I've watched it twice, but like I was hoping to get one more in before I got on, and I wasn't able to. So, all right, so we start off kind of where we left off on the last episode. The ship's in tatters and it's barely limping in. They're not going to make it to the planet where Ahsoka Tano is, so they make a stop. He's like, we're going to have to make a stop, and they end up stopping. Now, what was the name of the planet?
Navarro,
yes. So they make a stop at Navarro. He goes to see Cara Dune and the other Carl Weathers character. What's his name? Griff. Grief, yeah.
Something.
Yeah, so they go to see him. They get in immediately. He's like, can you fix my ship? Do I have some credit here? They're like, yeah, you got some credit. See, I already skipped something. So before he lands, they show Cara Dune down in where the other Mandalorian stuff was, and where their like little hideout was, and she was just wrecking fools down there. Dude, again, like her character is such a badass on this show, man.
Yeah.
So
I forget what kind of. I forgot what kind of. I was gonna look it up. What kind of alien she was beating up? It was one of the ones from the cantina. That.
Yeah.
One of those guys.
Dude.
Oh, you missed the Baby Yoda. He's like, put the blue wire.
Oh yes. So before, of course. How did I forget that? So it was. I mean, it was almost straight out of Baby Groot. That's what it reminded me of a little bit. But it was so awesome. That whole scene, he's got him in the little tunnel on the Razor Crest. And he's like, okay, now take the red wire and put it where the blue wire is. Don't touch him immediately. Of course, he touches him. And, dude, that was awesome. Very cute. I mean, come on. Baby Yoda is just adorable. And he's going to keep being adorable the whole season long, I'm sure. But dude, that scene was great. Very funny scene. And then, so then they land. And after, so you see that scene, and then you see the scene where she's wrecking the dudes down in where the Mandalorians are. Then they land. Immediately they go there, and they bring Baby Yoda to a school, which I thought was really funny. Now, there was a little Easter egg on that as they were walking into the school. If you look in the background, there's a statue of IG-11. So I don't know if you caught that, but there's an actual statue. Yeah, there's a statue of IG-11 in the background there. So one little Easter egg there. And then they get into the school, they sit him down, and they tell him, he's like, well, I don't want to leave the kid. The kid goes where I go. And he's like, well, where we're going, the kid can't go. So immediately, I'm sure at that point, Mando's like, well, what's going on? Like, why, So they get him they get the kid into the school. They leave the kid at school. They go and they start talking to Mando about the planet and everything that's going on since. So she has really cleaned up the planet. Cara Dune has as the marshal, really cleaned up the planet. I love in Star Wars how like one marshal can clean up a whole planet. It's like it's kind of funny. Like all planets have the same weather and the same terrain, and one marshal can clean up the whole thing.
Don't worry, I got it.
Yeah. I mean, it's Star Wars. It is what it is. But they're talking to him. They're telling him, hey, okay, there's this base, and in the base. We got, it's kind of a leftover base from the Empire. We want to clean it up and get them off our planet so our planet is good and it could be like a trading post. He reluctantly agrees, but he does agree, and then they head off to the base. And then before they get to the base, then they show Baby Yoda in the school. And that part's hilarious, where the kid's sitting next to him. He's eating the macaroon cookies or whatever, and Baby Yoda,
like blue milk macaroons.
Yeah, and then Baby Yoda's just like, and he's like, no, and then he just force takes him anyway. Oh my god, dude, I'm starting to wonder about Baby Yoda, man. He's stealing shit. He loves it when Mando's killing stuff. Dude, every time something's going wrong, he's like, ah. Like I'm starting to really.
They are developing it. Like I was scared that they were going to be like developing like the goofy, like like Jar Jar Binks kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like that. But when he got electrocuted, it was a good humor.
Yeah.
Like the feeling the cookies was good.
Yep.
When he barfed at the end, good.
Oh my god, yeah, that was awesome. Oh man. So he steals the kids' cookies, and then they flash back basically over to the mission. What I loved about the mission, the whole thing with the mission in the base, is that's where I felt like the most it felt like old Star Wars. It really had that feel of just, like it was almost like Han and Luke and Leia trying to, infiltrate this base. Like it had that.
The Death Star.
Yeah, dude, it was amazing. That whole thing is amazing. So they get to the base. And they think they're just taking out a bunch of stormtroopers and whatnot. And I love how the guy with the gills from the first episode of Mando, he was there in the first one.
Mithlar or something?
Something like that, yeah. So he's the one...
Do you know who that is?
I looked it up earlier. I forgot his name already. He was
Horatio Sands from
Yes,
Saturday Night Live.
yes. So, very funny, dude. I think he does a great job as that character, by the way. So they get there. He's driving. He's like the whole time he's just like, oh, I don't want to do this, and the whole time, Carl Weathers' character, damn it, what's his name again? I'm the worst with it. Grief. Yeah, Grief. So Grief's like, he's like, hey. You gotta do this. I'm gonna take 100 years off your sentence or whatever, because basically
360 years service.
Yeah, 360 years. So he keeps like taking years off his service, talking him into it, and finally, like, I love the scene when they get to the well, I don't want to get ahead of myself too far. So they get to the door of the base.
I'm looking up his name so we know. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, okay, cool. So they get to the base, and they're trying to get in the base, and I love how Mando's just like, screw this, flies up, and then basically opens the door from the top, and they all come in. So they infiltrate the base. They get in there. Oh, go ahead. Grief Karga. There we go. So I got to remember. Grief Karga. He's going to be a big player in this, so I got to remember his name. All right, so Grief Karga is Carl Weathers' character. Okay. They get into the base. They start killing a bunch of stormtroopers, and it looks like they're just cleaning house. And they have to get to this one room where they can shut off the coolant system for the lava flow, so the base will then just explode, and then they'll get out of there. So they get to that room where the coolant system is. They start shutting off the lava flow. And I love how they send the other guy again, Horatio Sanchez. Mithar, yeah. They send him out onto the balcony with no rail, and he's like, why is there no rail? Which is...
But super, I mean, A New Hope.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan climbing around the thing to turn up the force field or the shield for the Death Star.
Dude, A New Hope, Force Awakens, the scene with Han and Kylo, Rogue One, where they're climbing around on the thing in Rogue One. I mean, there's...
Yeah, Star Wars hates railing.
They're not safe at all.
That's the theme.
So anyway, they're doing that, and he finally shuts off the coolant system. The coolant system, or the lava, starts to boil up. They start running out of the thing, and they get to like a control room. And in this control room, this is where all the stuff happens. They packed so much exposition into one scene, basically. I think now we kind of have an idea of where this whole season is going. They get into this room, and you see the glass cases and the big giant glass walls, and there are like guys in there. And I got to tell you, I mean, and I think you said it too, it looks a lot like Snoke.
Well, I mean, I don't want to jump too far ahead, but did you hear the music?
Yes. And it was Snoke's theme.
That was what I was like, as soon as it started, it was like that monks chanting kind of, it's not like music, but I mean, it was that theme, like you said. And I was, right away, I'm like, oh, because that's why I started like those weird misshapen things. I'm like, okay.
Yep. So
so keep going.
No, cool. So they get there, and Snoke's theme starts going, and again, that was just a quick little thing with Snoke's theme, but it looks like Snoke, but it wasn't clear. Like, I still, like, there's a chance it's not, but it wasn't clear. They mention midichlorians without mentioning midichlorians. Just saying the M count. Yeah. I thought that was cool. That was funny. So that comes when they bring up the hologram of the scientist from, I think it's like the very first or second episode of Mandalorian. Mm-hmm. So the scientist comes up, and he sent out a thing to Moff Gideon 3 days ago. So they find out now that Moff Gideon is alive, and that they have been using the blood from Baby Yoda to try and create something. Unsure as to what. I mean, I'm guessing we're all thinking just a force-sensitive thing or something like that. So, and it's unsuccessful. So, basically the scientist is like, I'm sorry, Moff Gideon, I've tried, I'm trying, we need more blood. If you get me more blood, I won't fail you. Basically the message. So at that point, they gotta bail, because Mando has to bail because he realizes, oh my God, Baby Yoda is, now that Moff Gideon's still alive, I gotta go get Baby Yoda and get the hell out of here because he's in danger. So he takes off. Cara Dune tells him to jetpack out. He goes. And then they all get in that. What's the name of the vehicle?
I don't know.
Okay,
but
it
was like, yeah.
Yeah, they named it. Yeah, they named it. I can't remember what. Yeah, but the Imperial, like, it's almost like a giant tank looking type thing. Yeah.
A floating tank.
Yeah. So they get into that. They barrel through down the cliff, flying through there, and I love this next scene. It's awesome. The speeder bikes. So the stormtroopers jump on the speeder bikes. They all go flying down this cliff. 2 of them right away crash into each other. And then the other 2, and I gotta say, because normally, like, everybody rips on stormtroopers about their terrible aim and whatnot, but the way they're moving on these speeder bikes is pretty impressive. Like, they're flying around.
Oh, that was the best sequence of this episode.
Yeah, it totally, and it was awesome. And you can see the skill, like, again, everybody makes fun of stormtroopers about their aim, but there is skill there in how they're maneuvering on the speeder bikes. You can definitely see it. They're going after them. They're chasing them down. They get to the point, the dude's on top of the tank with a grenade, ready to throw it in, and then Grief, I think that's his name, Grief, like, I'll get it.
Grief Cargo.
Grief Cargo, yeah. Grief Cargo, he turns the turret gun around and shoots him. Oh, I didn't even get to the best part of the turret gun. So, dude, straight out of, like, original Star Wars, when he's like, I'm gonna get on the turret gun, and he gets on the turret gun and he's trying to fire, and she's like, what are you doing? He's like, it's not easy. He's
very Millennium Falcon, like, cock or gunner position thing.
That, and it was and then it kind of reminded me too of Force Awakens in that scene too, Millennium Falcon scene too. So yeah,
when Finn gets in there.
Yeah. So I love the throwbacks. They're really good about it. It's just subtle nods, but it isn't like, oh my God, here's another Star Wars thing. It's just really subtle the way they do it, and I like that. So he blows up the dude who's going to drop the grenade in, and then TIE fighters. All of a sudden, you got 3 TIE fighters that launch and come right after him. So then he's trying to hit the TIE fighters. They're weaving in and out. He can't hit the TIE fighters. And then finally, they get into a clearing, and they're basically dead to rights. 3 TIE fighters above them. They're in a clearing. There's no cover around them. And then all of a sudden the Razor Crest comes in, blows up the TIE fighters, kills them. Dude, that sequence was awesome too. And that's where Baby Yoda, he's flying around and Baby Yoda's like, ah! And he's loving it the whole time. And then they get done with all that, blow up all the TIE fighters, and he looks at Baby Yoda and he just goes, and just pukes everywhere. And that was amazing. Oh my God. I loved it. That was good. And then, and then, so Baby Yoda throws up, and then right away they're like, are you sticking around, Mando? He's like, no, I got this pressing thing to take care of, as he's trying to clean up the puke. And then he just tells him, no, I'm going to head out. And he heads out. And that's pretty much the end of the episode there. So, all right. Oh, no. The end of the episode, actually, there's one more scene. I forgot. So they...
Yeah, I was going to say, you're missing a very big part.
So they switched to Moff Gideon. And you see Moff, and they explain to him that they put a tracker in the Razor Crest. One of the 2 mechanics that was working on the Razor Crest is a spy, basically. Puts a tracker in the Razor Crest, and then he also told him that yes, the asset was there. So we do know that now. They know that Baby Yoda was there. And yeah, so that's where we're at. So now, end of scene, end of show. All right, we've gone through the whole thing. Bigger analysis. Go, man. Hit me. What do you got?
First, I was when the TIE fighter came in, when they got in the clearing, I was like, all right, we got a 50-50 shot of either it's going to be the Razor Crest, Mandalorian, or I was very excited to maybe see. I was like, maybe we're going to see Slave One, like Boba Fett makes his grand entrance.
Oh man. Dude, that'd be awesome.
I was a bit disappointed, but it is what it is. But as we throw back to last week, the Razor Crest is fixed again.
Yeah,
the
right.
ship is undestroyable, so yeah, that's right. So it lives to fight another day. The speeder bike scene was incredible. I loved it. The classic sounds of them like roaring down the canyon, loved it. The Snoke thing, I don't know if maybe it's because I read a couple articles. Maybe they're trying to patch up some continuity with maybe it might be Palpatine, like the Palpatine clones.
Yeah.
Because I mean, maybe they're trying to tie it into going forward from the rise of Skywalker. But then then I read another article like, no, that was the Sith did that on Exegol. So I don't know. It definitely turned this season into a lot. It turned into a different direction than I expected it to go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think you kind of hit it. It seems like it's Snoke here. Hold on. It seems like it's Snoke, right? Like I think it's Snoke. It looks a lot like him. But it was really hard to tell because it was very blurry. Again, a lot of exposition in the 2 scenes that had a lot of exposition were the one where they get into the lab. They explain a lot in there about what they're doing with Baby Yoda. And then the other one is, the end, the one with Moff Gideon. Like, dude, they show the Dark Troopers. How did I forget that? The Dark Troopers at the end.
Oh, yeah,
too.
I was going to get that. Very, I almost was like, his outfit is very Darth Vader-y.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah,
with the chest thing and the shoulder pads and the cape. I almost was like, is that Darth Vader in the corner?
Yeah, I kind of,
or along the walls.
That's probably not on accident. I'm sure that they probably
100%.
Yeah, designed. So I get it. So here's kind of my thoughts. I think that here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna go and see Ahsoka. Moff's gonna follow them there, basically. So you're gonna get some type of showdown, I think, with Mando, Moff Gideon, and all of his dark stormtroopers, and Ahsoka Tano is gonna be doing something. Now, how much fighting they have her do, I don't know. I hope that it's a decent amount because, again, I still think that she's probably only going to be in like 1 episode. So,
well, did you hear? I think it was episode 14.
Okay.
Chapter 14 is named, and this is speculative. I don't know if this is true. It's not confirmed. Is named the Jedi.
Really? So you think it's going to be one? So they got to wait one more. Oh man.
Well, I mean, but once again, this week it calls back to that what we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Perfect video game. He gets to Navarro. I need my ship fixed.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll fix your ship. But first
you got to do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
So,
very true.
I don't think we're going to see it next week, but I don't know. I just saw that it was called The Jedi. And
Okay.
it's directed by
Dave Filoni. Yeah. Well, if so, that'd be 2 weeks then from now. So if that's look, there is no way Dave Filoni is not directing a live action Ahsoka Tano. There's no way. Like.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Carl